At Forever Forward Financial, our mission is to teach people how money works, thus assisting families and business owners to learn how to make more money, save more money, grow their money, and keep it all safe. We believe people need to have financial goals and build a financial foundation for their future. To schedule your free 2-hour consultation, call 727-422-7761 or email foreverforwardfinancial@gmail.com.
Hi, this is Toni Harris Taylor with another fabulous contributor to the Purpose, People, Profits collaboration book, How Everyday Entrepreneurs Get Drastic Results. My name is Toni Harris Taylor, the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I teach entrepreneurs how to get known, get connected, and get paid. I also am the proud multi-unit franchise owner for Network in Action Global Partners, where we bring our members together to build collections, collaborations, and help them each other to grow. Today, I have Mrs. Nik Morris of Ronimo Enterprises. She's got several brands under her, and we'll let her explain what those are, but be prepared to be wowed by this lady. Thank you, Nicole, for your contribution to the book.
Well, thank you for inviting me and letting me have a space.
And we affectionately call her Nik, so it's Nik from this point out. In your own words, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Nik Morris, and I am a manager to Mogul. I run 7 different brands under the Ronimo Enterprises. I am most known and loved for our Lucy Pearls brand, which is Houston's most loved and favorite bakery. I have Nik Morris Consulting and Public Speaking. I have RG Land Development, and then we have the Ed Lu Foundation, where we give back to HBCU colleges under the umbrella of fashion modeling or fashion design and nursing, which is what both my mother and my husband's mom did when we were growing up.
Oh, wow. You are a busy lady. Let's talk about your family. How many children, grandchildren, husband? Okay. Y'all been married a long time. Tell me more.
Yeah, we've been married a long time. We have 6 children. I have 5 sons and 1 daughter, AKA Princess. So in there is a set of twin boys. So we had boy, girl, set of twin boys, and then a boy. And I've got 11 grandchildren. And then I just got a call about 45 minutes ago from my son Javi in Seattle. His wife is going to get induced, so grandbaby number 12 will be here hopefully today.
I love it, but you have a fascinating story. You were the highest ranked, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the highest ranked Black woman at the railroad. Did I get that right?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. So I was the highest ranked African-American female in the field. So there was higher ranked on the corporate side. On the legal team, we had an African-American female there. But in the field.
On the tracks?
In the field, on the tracks, getting on and off trains, talking to crewmen, I was her.
Wow. We don't have enough time to explore how you even got to that point. They'll have to read the book, which is coming, by the way, because we are working on our books together. They'll have to read the book for that story. But the story goes that you were offered a package, you took it, and then what happened?
Yeah, I was offered a package, never opened the envelope, and I accepted. did not have a plan. We knew
Wait. Because I know highest rank in the field is a big salary. How could
That is
you
correct.
not open the envelope, which is drastic in and of itself? So back up.
Okay.
Okay. So you got an envelope, a buyout. Why didn't you open it? And why did you say yes without opening it?
That was a true epitome of stepping out on faith. We anticipated, so let me kind of give some technicolor here. A year prior, my husband and I really looked at our finances and where we needed to be. And because of the position I had in the organization, we're allotted financial help or financial guidance because we're high earners, we 1%ers. And so they want to make sure that you don't have the ball player syndrome where you make all this money and then when you're done with your career, you're broke. So we had done some planning, and in the railroad world, it's opposite. It's male dominated. So the wives are at home. They're waiting for their husbands to retire. For me, it was opposite. My husband was home. He was waiting for me to retire. And everyone in that last 5 to 7 years really start planning their exit strategy. You know, buying their retirement home, building their dream house because they've raised their kids. And we had started on that path the year prior. And we had earmarked our property. We were actually going to move over to a wine company in Fredericksburg. We were going to move back to Texas. So we had that plan.
Okay.
Back to Fredericksburg and live in wine country. So we were still close enough to the kids so 3 of our kids were here in Houston. But we had started that process and had talked to a builder, had talked through, you know, what the house is going to have, just some things that the bells and whistles that we kind of let go or didn't shoot for while we were building our career. So we were going to really have a nice house. And we had earmarked about 1.5 to maybe $2 million for the property and the home.
Mm-hmm.
So we planned. So we knew if we bought the dirt this year, we pay it off, then get ready to build. We had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward a year later, 2018, they offered it. And I called my husband. It was 1:30 in the afternoon. I says, they've given me, I hear they're coming to give me the envelope. He says, what you want me to do? I says, I've parked my company truck. You can come on and pick me up. I had made the decision before they gave me the envelope. So when they gave me the envelope, I said, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I've had a great career, but I'm out. And they were surprised because they weren't expecting me to take it. They had to, by law, offer everybody the package because they did not want to come across as discriminating based on age or race. And they suspected that, you know, maybe 0.5% would take the offer that didn't really need the offer and not push anybody off the train. But I took the offer and they weren't expecting that. They were expecting me to put in another 7 to 8 years before I had my.
Wow.
It just was frustrating. It was just the frustration of the organization and then where they were going. Some good things were going on, but there was a lot of bad things too. And I just didn't want to be a part of that.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway, we sold our house in 6 hours in California. And it was a deal where if they gave us more money, could we be out in 2 weeks? I signed the deal or accepted the deal on October 23rd. It was in an 8,000 square foot house. We had the house packed up and moved, and we were pulling into the driveway in our Texas home on November 1st.
Wow.
We were not playing.
Talk about drastic, and you talk about planned, and oh wow. So okay, so you're retired. You're a 1%er. So how'd you get to all them other brands? You're supposed to sit down somewhere.
Right. And we traveled. So we traveled the first year, you know, we did the retirement. We checked the retirement boxes. And then I realized that I wasn't ready to live that retirement life. And we had a friend who was part of our church that passed, and I was asked to buy the cakes. And I said, well, I got these these recipes my mother died and left me. I can make a cake. And it was a joke that says, hey, are you sure you've been a corporate girl? You even know how to turn on the oven? And so I made the cakes from this treasure box, and they were a hit for the family. I got a lot of accolades, and I got a lot of, you need to start a business. You need to figure out how to make this a business. And at the time, I'm not trying to be Betty Crocker. And I didn't have baking skills. I'm not a culinary person. So business, yes, but I'm not a baker. And had a very, very good friend, was sharing this information with her. And she says, why don't you just try out the farmer's market? And B said, if you need to borrow my table, pay you a little $35 and just come see. Worst case scenario, you hang out with me, keep me company while I'm at the market, or you figure out if this is something that's doable. And we went and we sold out. And, of course you go beginner's luck. That's not normal. So we baked a little bit more. And in Texas, you can do cottage baking, which is bake at home and sell at the farmer's market. So baked at home and took it back the second week. And it was phenomenal. We sold out. We were sold out within an hour. Wow. And it just was such a huge hit and such a kind of uplifting to maybe we're onto something, but I don't really know what it is yet. So we did farmers markets for a good year. And I realized that if I was really going to get into the game, I had to go learn. I am a strong proponent of learning. So I went and moonlighted at a bakery, a local bakery here, and learned some big baking business. I shared my operational business acumen and helped her get out of the red with her business. And I learned some baking business. But the really cool piece of it is that she gave me the reins to the business. Mm-hmm. And so the things that I thought I should do and I thought I wanted to do, I was able to really test drive these in her organization. And we grew her business from 1.3 million the first year that I was there, and she was operating in the red, to when I left, she was 4.5 million with a 21% profit.
Wow.
So I was able in literally 24 months, pull some levers and really just use my business acumen on what good business is. And good business crosses all barriers. It doesn't matter what, if you're a baker, if you're a widget maker, if you're a mechanic, good business is good business. And if you have good KPIs and you know how to take that data and use that data to manage and not just collect data, nothing worse than collecting data. Do something with the data.
Right.
But if you use that data to pull a lever or push to figure out how to get where you are, I can do that. And I did that on the railroad, and I was extremely successful.
Nice.
And I did it for her. And so we decided to take the opportunity to open our hybrid brick and mortar, which is in a food hall. And we've had some challenges. It has been more than a notion. Mm. It's different and I had some ownership in the meaning responsibility ownership in the previous baking business. But it's I'm sorry?
Keep talking.
Yeah, when it's yours and you're growing it and you're feeding it, yes, it does take on kind of a life of its own, but any kind of little hiccup or burp, or you feel that's an internal, ouch, that hurt kind of deal. A person gives a bad review because they've had a bad experience. And you can hear both sides of the story from the customer's point of view and your employee's point of view. And you go, but still, what could we have done something better? And you go, yeah, we could have. And you just got to be honest with yourself. You got to be transparent, not only with yourself, but with your customers and with your employees, so that you can be who you think you should be and who you ought to be and how you grow into that. Because when I was on the railroad, clearly I was not where I was supposed to be, and I was not who I was destined to be.
So,
yeah.
So what have been some of the biggest challenges as an entrepreneur since coming from corporate to entrepreneurship?
I guess the biggest piece is
right. I saw that. That was visible.
Yeah, you gotta go. And I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna just keep on rolling. Trump does this blow. He does that, and we do that now. We caught ourselves doing it. It's like it's one of those moments.
Yeah.
And if I could change the
And
name,
I sigh a lot.
yeah,
sigh.
and I have to work
goodness.
on that because the sigh, sometimes people read that sigh wrong. But
Yes, I know.
the hardest part for me on this side, on the retail side, because I've got so many different businesses. On the retail side is the retail side itself, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, because you could look at the data and say, well, the data says this is going to happen. And you're probably 80% on point. But we were in a new facility, a lot of fanfare the first year, you know, very good the first year. The second year, it's like it went into nosedive. It literally was like someone turned off the engines on the plane and we just started falling. And we haven't caught altitude yet. We're still falling. And so because of my business acumen, let's start pulling levers. Let's start cutting here. Let's start doing this. Let's, you know, having a wind down plan is the biggest thing that I've learned. You can have a growth plan, but what happens if the economy happens? What happens if COVID happens? What happens if your son gets sick? What happens if there's a recall on flour? What's your wind down program? What's your wind down to make sure that your business stays intact and your brand doesn't get hurt?
Wow. That's
been the biggest lesson.
So
And
who
so
are the coaches?
had to fumble through that.
Yeah, of course. But I know you've learned a lot of lessons and you're applying those lessons to other areas in your businesses as well.
Absolutely.
So who are the coaches or mentors that have helped you to achieve your goals? And how important has it been to your success?
Okay, so lifelong coach, Charlie, my aunt. She's just all around, just a good coach, doesn't matter what it is. Guy named Mark Franklin on the railroad was a very good coach. He helped my trajectory in my career on the railroad. And as I transitioned into owning my own business, I would have to say my very first coach is my husband, because he didn't know business, but he knew to ask the questions to stimulate the conversation, and let's just kind of peel back the onions. So in a sense, he became the sensei, even though he wasn't teaching, but that philosophical, well, what about this? What about this? Yeah. And then, B, Sims, and then you've opened the door to so many different aspects and rivers for my business. So my business is not just one stream. You've helped me with the branding, talk to this person, write the book, talk to this person. Well, have you thought about this? We've brainstormed. I've helped give you some ideas within your organization and mine too, where we've been able to kind of, in my opinion, it was no longer, at first it was a coach student, but then it became a peer. And, really just how do I breathe life into you and how do you breathe life into me? And it's not, I'm teaching you something that you don't already know, but let me challenge you to think a little bit further. And
hold you accountable.
And hold me accountable.
I mean, like, you're coming.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I have struggled, and this is one of your questions, and I'm gonna kind of jump around. I've struggled with work-life balance. And one of the things that helped me really stop and identify my deficiencies in work-life balance was the visual board that we did. I look at that every single day, and I remind myself of why things are cataloged on this vision board, because those are the things that, without any peer pressure, without anyone saying this should be what's important to you, is what I said are important to me. And so as time has progressed, we're 6 months in after doing this vision board. I did a checkup a couple of weeks ago on my birthday and said, okay, where am I at? How am I doing? Some things I did good first starting off, and then I fell off. And then there's some things that, okay, it's getting some traction, but I still need to go. But it has put a focal point for me. which is what I needed help with, because I get like a horse that's racing, you put those blinders on and I'm gonna win the race, but I've missed all this stuff along the way.
Yeah.
And I missed so much stuff
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah.
So
You are definitely a hard runner and a winner. Like, I love that your logo has goals in it, because everything you touch seems to turn to gold, but it's not easy. I'm not saying
it's not.
easy. So who or what is your inspiration when life gets difficult and business gets difficult?
Ooh, what keeps me motivated is the fact that I'm going to be the first generation that will start the generational wealth for my family.
Wow.
That is very important to me. My parents, grandparents, their life was struggle.
Sure.
You know, it was survival. You know, we're just trying to put food on the table and clothes on your back. And I love you because I'm doing those things. I'm doing those things because I love you. And so that emotional, lovey, touchy feely sometimes wasn't there. And I think that's why my love language is acts of service. I show you I love you because I do this stuff. I don't always touchy feely. I'm not always the cuddler. So I think that when the question was what motivates me, that's my motivation, that I'm able to break the cycle.
Yeah.
8 generations post-slavery.
Yeah.
To use and to add kind of some frosting on the cake, to use what my parents used to feed us, what my grandparents used to feed us, that cake at the table. We talked about life lessons. I'm able to take that and produce a legacy. Not necessarily, it's not all about the money, but the legacy.
Yes.
All those people who I've borrowed and the recipes have been collected from, every last single one of them are dead. None of them.
Wow.
So how do you keep that legacy going?
Right.
Well, it's in the Betty Lou, my great aunt's
right.
cake.
Right.
You know?
I love it. I love that. I love that you can tie it all together. So what happened with you as a child, what y'all ate as a child, is now creating generational wealth for your future generations. And I love that. So what role has networking played to help you connect to the right people in order to fulfill your purpose?
Okay, so networking has checked 2 boxes for me, because I've not always been friendly. I've been business.
You don't say.
Business savvy. I mean, I'm black and white. I don't see very much gray. I'm a very business. I run, my husband says sometimes it's irritating that I run our life like a business.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell my kids, hey, I set the budget for the month. If you need to borrow money, you need to let me know by the 25th, because my budget's set for the month. As a matter of fact, they need to let me know if they need some money for July.
Okay. I love that.
But I've run it as a business. So networking has made me stop and find a softer side.
Wow.
Because
and honestly, I can see that. You are not the same energy you were, even though it's been more difficult. You are really making real money when I met you, but you don't have the same cut and dry energy you had when I first met you.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that the trip that we took to Cape Coral, I would have never done that. That was so, I'm going to do this because one, my coach has held me accountable. I'm making monthly payments. I'm being accountable on showing up, and I'm being accountable by writing my check every month. But I also said at the end of the day, it's got to be more about business. It's got to be more than business. Mm-hmm. I want people to feel, if I'm selling nostalgia in my cake, and the granny cake, which is a yellow cake chocolate frosting, reminds you of the cake that was on your grandmother's counter every Sunday after church, that emotional connection means something. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to produce that, and I want that to be my customer's experience, I got to live it too.
Mhm.
I can't feed you something I'm not eating.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
part of that networking for me has been, let's find the softer side and not so mogul side. Yes, there's a time and a place to be a mogul and all those things, but it's really helped me identify I need to have some good relationships that are not about money. If it comes into money, great.
Right.
But I need some girlfriends.
That's right.
This
And girlfriends bring money. So
and girlfriends bring money, but for me, I started off the networking. Oh, got to get sales, got to get money. I want people to know my name. But now I network and I go, I really want to know how you're doing. We had someone's mom, I don't want to put names out there because I know this is going on in the book, but we had someone whose mom was hospitalized. I wanted to call her and say, how you doing?
Yeah.
5 years ago, they're like, okay, we'll catch her when she gets back in the saddle, but I was genuinely concerned and I didn't just reach out once. Hey, you need anything? That's not me.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
And so you said there were two things. So brought you a different personality, softer side. What's the other thing?
And the other thing is it made me realize that it's not about me. I can help other people. And if I help other people, I'm the saucer. If I fill their teacup up, the saucer is going to overfill and the saucer going to get full too.
Girl, you make my heart happy saying that. Because if we can get more entrepreneurs to say that or feel that and know that and act like it, then everybody wins. So it's not about you, it's about the people you can serve. Yes, you will get the overflow, but somebody's serving you. If everybody has that mentality, you will be being served. I love that. Yeah. All right.
And I wasn't like that. I was like, okay, what can I get, for me?
Yeah.
And no, how can I help? And I start my conversations with people now. Well, okay. I think I have an agenda, but how can I help you? Because maybe today's not my day for my agenda.
And ultimately, you start that way. It's only the self-centered person, and it's not that many people out there who wouldn't come in and say, well, now how can I help you? If you lead with the service, people will come back and they have to, because it's like, I'm just a jerk if I don't.
and even if you, outside of what you think will be reciprocated, I feel good about me.
That's right. And the biggest thing for me, and I know for you too, is if I can serve someone and I leave them better than I met them, the rest is gravy.
Yep.
All right. So next question. How do you stay motivated and focused on your goals?
It's a daily process. Some days I'm demotivated. The last couple of weeks for us within the organization, we've taken on this big project, and it just seems like it was dark cloud after dark cloud after dark cloud after dark cloud. And so my husband is a prayer. He's a prayer warrior. He's a Zulu prayer warrior. He gets up and he prays and he covers us for seen and unseen dangers. And I don't always do that, because I want to sleep. I've been up all night. I've worked on something. So our prayer life is centered around him, and then I kind of fall under that. But I stay motivated because I know that I'm on the right trajectory. Mm-hmm. And I tell people this all the time. We talk a good game as believers. We'll say the right cliched things, and we'll do a lot of cliched or traditional fanfare things. But if you believe that God has ordained your destiny, and all you have to do is show up, then all you must do is keep your eye on him. Yeah. Everything else is small potatoes. And we get so distracted and we get into the cliche and then I've been there, and I'm not throwing anybody on the bus. I'll swerve into God's lane and try to fix what I've asked him to fix.
Right.
but I'm learning.
Yeah.
I have friend conversations with God. Okay, you see this.
That exactly. Mm-hmm.
So you knew this was coming. And so because you are omnipotent, so you knew this was coming. And I believe that my blessing is how I respond to it. So I'm going to respond to it with the fruits of the Beatitudes. I'm going to have love. And sometimes I fail because a couple weeks ago, I gave somebody the finger and I had to immediately repent on that. But my motivation is that I'm walking into what I'm supposed to be.
That's right.
It's not one person or one thing that keeps my fire lit. It is, we wake up, we're 30 years old, and we ponder the question of, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, I don't feel like I'm fulfilling who I'm supposed to be. I feel like I'm fulfilling who I'm supposed to be. So I'm just walking into it.
Nice. Nice. So what's the vision for the future for your businesses?
It's still in growth mode, but I do want to have other locations for the bakery. So we'll talk a couple things. So the bakery, definitely other locations.
Okay.
Because I believe that the cake and the love that we pour into the pans that generate cakes, pies, and cookies, they have value for families.
Sure.
And you have different things in the market now where it has all this garbage in it. And we basically cook with the same 6 items: butter, eggs, sugar. It's natural stuff. So I still want to offer that good eat for people, the good, bad eat, if that makes sense. On the Nik Morris side, which is our consulting side, I want to help small businesses. You know, small businesses have a 90% failure rate, where 10%, but 10% of franchises have a failure rate. Why the difference? What's the difference? I want to be the one that bridges that gap, where the entrepreneurs who've sacrificed their kids' future, time with family, they've got a second mortgage on the house, you know, they've leveraged everything they've got, but they don't lose everything for chasing a dream. And a lot of times we're chasing a dream and we don't know how to chase the dream, or which levers to pull to chase the dream. I want to be that catalyst because, again, I've worked in big business and I've seen how the big boys do it. And I want to share that with the smaller guys who really have good products and good service, but they just don't know which lever to push.
Awesome. I love that. So the last question is, what advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur looking to start their own business?
Get a coach first. Don't jump into the deep end. Don't jump into the deep end without a coach. Get a coach. Build your budget. I want this to be in bold, 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 bold. Before you get your LLC, before you sign the lease for your building or do anything like that, get a coach. Put that coach line item in your business cash flow. That is a must have. Just like you're going to pay that cell phone bill, an insurance bill, and your rent, build out a budget for a coach, because what ends up happening is you start on this trajectory and 18 months, 24 months into the business, you have this, oh shit moment, and now I need help. And you expect a coach to be a miracle maker, pain maker, is a process.
Yes.
So if you start off, my mother-in-law used to say something. She said, the way you start things is the way you're going to end them.
That's right.
So if you start off with a marketing budget, a cost of goods budget, find a small budget for a consultant. And you ain't got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. Hopefully you'll graduate to that, because that needs to be evolved. And now you need some heavy hitters to guide you along the way. But you need someone who's going to help you and show you, because you can't possibly know everything.
Right.
And a coach, I've learned, will keep me accountable. Because if you just got a mentor, you call, you vent, you do all that other stuff, they not gonna say, well, you need to do this, this, and this, and I'm gonna call you back and check on it. You got some of them like that, but a coach is gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna be able to see some tangible ness out of that. So that's
Awesome.
my deal. And don't get discouraged.
Yeah.
We just need a long bath and a good night's rest.
Yeah.
So
And
don't get
then when you wake up, things look different. And now I'm going to add to that. And that is
for a second. Hold on.
okay.
My thing is about to go dead. My computer. Go ahead.
And so the other thing that you've done consistently that is really key for an entrepreneur is networking and showing up, because I can't tell you how many times you're in the space with other people and somebody across the room may say something and your ears perk up, and it could be a life-changing tip or a business-changing tip that just because you were in the room and heard it, you can implement. So thank you so much for being such a good coaching client, NIA member. I'm grateful for our friendship now. And so I appreciate you so much. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Okay, so you can reach me at Morris, NMORRIS at Ronimo, RONIMO-enterprises.com. Or you can always come by the bakery and get a cookie. We're at Lucy Pearls and we're downtown Houston at 401 Franklin in Houston, Texas.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. And I just love you. And our future is bright together. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. And check out Nik Morris. She's going to be doing big things. Bye.
Let's get drastic, building relationships to get you known, get you connected, and get paid.